Guys, we have ones in the RLCS, this time for North America and MENA. And I'm going to do predictions for North America to see who I think is going to make it to the Rally Major. So we're going to just get started with Group A. If you didn't know, Wavy absolutely destroyed the Swiss group of death. If you didn't know, the two groups were seeded weird, and Wavy made it through the one that was hard, 3-0 through the Swiss, and I'm going to put 3-0 against Cosmic here. Chronic versus Reddles. It's got to be Chronic. Love Reddles. Who doesn't? But Reddles is good at ones, but Chronic is on another level there. Scribbles versus Evo. Evo made it Salt Mine Finals this at Johnny Boy's last tournament. I'm going to go 3-0. Shouldn't be too difficult, but we'll see. You know, anything can happen, especially in ones. First Killer versus Mist, also 3-0. Sorry, Mist, you're just going to be outclassed there pretty easily. Wavy versus Chronic. This could go either way, but because of the form that Wavy is in lately, I'm going to go with him. Evo versus First Killer. Man, this could go either way, but because of that Salt Mine second place, I'm going to go 3-2 for Evo. Down to the lowers. Cosmic went round 5 in the Swiss. Reddles went 3-1. So I'm going to go Reddles here, but I'm going to go 3-2. Because it could go either way. And Cosmic has been more of a ones player than Reddles has, at least in tournaments. So we'll see. But I'll back Reddles there for the Reddles fans. Scribbles versus Mist. I'm going to go Scribbles. Sorry, Mist. First Killer versus Reddles. That should be First Killer every day. Sorry, Reddles. Chronic versus Scribbles. That should also be Chronic. I'll give a game to Scribbles, but these are just more of ones players and just better in that area. Currently, could change. But Wavy, Evo, First Killer, Chronic making it out of this group. That makes the right amount of sense for that group. Now let's head over to Group B. Zapatos, the Sentio user versus Kevin. I got to back the Sentio user 3-1. Zap, just lots of experience in ones. I think it's really coming out now. Congrats to Zap, honestly, making his first main event ever in RLCS. AJ versus Wiz. AJ, Mechanical Beast. 3-0. Diaz versus Tricky. We all know how good Diaz is at ones, so I'm going to go 3-0. Talk versus Real. This one is interesting. Talk really surprised me in the Swiss. He went 3-1 and had a win against Chronic too during that. So I'm going to back Talk here, but it could go either way. Zapatos versus AJ. Got to back AJ here. AJ retired, but not really in ones. I'll go 3-1. I don't think it'll be too difficult for AJ. Diaz versus Talk. That's just going to be easy for Diaz, just on another level. Diaz is just that good. Kevin versus Wiz. This one's interesting. But I'm going to back Wiz here. I'll go 3-2. Tricky versus Reveal. Interesting. I think Reveal. Where's Reveal? Is he in Group A? Let's see. Reveal is in Group A. Reveal went and won against, who was that? Kevin. And then he lost to Diaz. Makes sense. So then he beat OSM. And then he lost to Reddles. And then beat Cam. Whereas Tricky here. Was Tricky in this group? I don't believe so. He was not. Tricky was in this group. So Tricky 3-2 versus Resinol. And then he lost to Scribbles, which put him against LJ, which he lost. And then he beat Zanil. Neither of these runs are super amazing, but I'm going to back Reveal then. 3-1. Talk versus Wiz. I'm going to go Talk. You know, he's new to ones. Not 3-1. We'll go 3-2. He's new to ones, but he's been playing well. I mean, I watched some of his games, and he did good. He knew how to play, surprisingly so. It's coming pretty naturally. Zap versus Reveal. I'm going to back the ones experience here. 3-1. Reveal could take that just out of, like, mechanical ability. But I'm just going to back the decision-making of Zap here. Now, let's head over to the playoff bracket. Zap versus Chronic, First Killer, Talk, Diaz, Evo, Wavy, AJ. We'll go in order of how the day will go. Chronic versus Zap. This is where Zap's run comes to an end. Zap tends to make it to a decent, makes it far enough in ones tournaments, but never far enough to impress. So I don't believe in him beating someone like Chronic, but I'll go 4-2. No, I'll go 4-1. I think Chronic's just on a different level than Zap is. Talk versus First Killer. Sorry, Talk. First Killer just has way more experience in this regard, and I'm going to make it a sweep. I don't think it'll be close. Diaz, Evo. This was the Salt Mine final, and it went to Game 7, so this could be interesting. Diaz has looked really, really good, though, and Evo did not. In the Swiss, he went to round 5, so I'm going to back Diaz here 4-2. Evo can tilt pretty easily. I mean, so can Diaz, honestly, but when Diaz tilts, it doesn't really matter. So that's the difference there anyway. Wavy versus AJ. I'm going to back 7. I'm going to back Wavy here. I'll go 4-2. AJ could win this, but Wavy seems to have been putting in the grind for once. He's definitely raised his level, at least from what I've seen. Obviously a small sample size in the Swiss, but he's looking good. Evo, Chronic. I'm going to back Evo here 4-3 because Chronic can win that, but Evo's form lately has looked better for ones than Chronic has. First Killer, AJ. Man, again, could be a close game, but I'm going to back First Killers. I'm going to go another Game 7 here. I'm so excited for these ones, guys. I mean, there's going to be so many cinema series. Wavy versus Evo. Oh, man. The thing is, if I predict Evo here and predict Diaz, it's a rematch of the Salt Mine. But do I think that's going to happen? No. I think Evo will not be able to take. I'm going to go 4-2. Wavy's form just looking really good. I just like Wavy as well, honestly. I want to see him succeed. I like the way he plays. And it'd be cool to see him go far. Diaz versus First Killer. We've seen this matchup a few times. It's gone back and forth, but mostly in Diaz's favor. I'm going to go 4-2. I think Diaz, when the pressure is on and once, he tends to perform pretty well. Wavy versus Diaz here. Oops. This could be interesting. I don't know if Wavy can have the peak ability that Diaz can, because I mean it's called the Diaz challenge, right? Where just back wall to back wall. And Diaz could do it consistently. That's not something Wavy can do consistently, or as consistently, and as well as Diaz. And so I'm gonna bet on the peak ability more, and I'm gonna go 4-2 for Diaz. So a Brazilian winning the North America once tournament. So interesting for sure. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you have Diaz winning this? He's obviously won a lot. He could be upset for sure. Multiple different series here. First Killer here, if he peaks, he could win this. But I'm just betting on Diaz here. I mean, he just is so consistent at ones, and every shot he takes is always the right shot in ones. Threes, not as much. But ones, definitely. So we'll see how this goes. I'm so excited for ones. If you guys are too, like this video, subscribe, and let me know in the comments how excited you are for the Rally Major 1 series, 1v1 series. And I will see you all in the next video.